This week on The Splash, we enjoy a special memorial concert. Then we learn about the Tuskegee Airmen, and later we discover new information on anxiety. The Splash is a production of Civic Center TV. We're a news magazine that covers everything from local news to feature stories, all so that we can bring you the latest from the greater West Bloomfield area. And now, let's dive into The Splash. Welcome to The Splash. I'm your host, Sheena Monnin, and as always, thank you for joining us. A special memorial concert was held to remember the impact of Mary Freed, a beloved member of our community. Reporter Tyler Kieft has the story.
At Holy Spirit Lutheran Church, the community gathered for a special concert to honor someone who was truly a special member of our community. Holy Spirit is honoring Mary Freed, one of its longtime members, with a series of fine music concerts in the church where she, for many years, brought our community together in song.
Here at the church, when we first got started, she organized a children's choir. She's always been interested in music. Her mother was an organist, a piano teacher, and a choir director. Her father was a singer, so always had a lot of music in the family there.
A fitting tribute indeed to the late Mary Freed, honoring her life, legacy, and love of music with tunes that brought the same joy to members of the community that she provided for so many years.
Many people at the time of her funeral made memorial gifts, and a lot of times people buy things, but we decided that we would organize a concert series, and there was enough money to have a number of concerts here, and so this is the first one, and we hope to have maybe 3 or 4 or more during each year.
As the community took in the beautiful emotions springing off of the string instruments, including Mary's very own violin that had not been played for many decades, they did so with passion, care, and neighborly bliss. Just the way Mary Freed would have wanted. Reporting for The Splash, I'm Tyler Kieft.
If you would like to see more on the concert, you can do so by visiting civiccentertv.com/Mary Freed Concert. The impact of the Tuskegee Airmen in our history is something to celebrate. The West Bloomfield Public Library held an event that commemorated their contribution. We sent reporter Rahaf Hassam to find out more.
Recently, the greater West Bloomfield community gathered together to celebrate and learn more about some of our country's greatest heroes. Members of the community and visitors alike gathered at the West Bloomfield Library for a look back at the heroism of the Tuskegee Airmen, finding connections between past and present to help build our future.
The Tuskegee Airmen, as has been said, they are the black men who the military said could not fly airplanes. But they rose to the occasion. They chose to hang in there together, learn to fly when they were told they could not. And yet, what did they do? They won the war.
Leaders of the local Tuskegee Airmen chapter led discussions and showed a documentary helping the community learn a bit about our history and the lessons it possesses.
One thing that the kids and the people in our community can learn from the Tuskegee Airmen is perseverance, how to stick together. When you accept a task, do it and do it with pride. Not just that it is important to the community, but it's important to everybody.
In the end, the discussion informed community members and leaders of just what history means and why it is imperative that we keep our stories alive. After a great evening of education and dedication, one thing is for sure, Greater West Bloomfield is dedicated to learn more about some of our country's greatest heroes. Reporting for The Splash, I'm Rahaf Hassam.
If you'd like to learn more about the Tuskegee Airmen event, feel free to stop by our website at civiccentertv.com/Flying for Freedom. Coming up, we join the West Bloomfield Community Coalition to learn about anxiety and its impact. And later, we enjoy another episode of Sidewalk Talk.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV. now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back to The Splash. I'm your host, Sheena Monnin. According to the experts, the number of individuals who are suffering from unhealthy levels of anxiety is increasing. Particularly affected are teenagers. I joined the community for an evening of information and advice from the experts. Anxiety is a largely unknown problem in our communities and schools. To help raise awareness, a community event was held for parents, teens, and anyone interested in new research on the topic.
It's one of the most common mental health disorders that we diagnose in kids and adolescents. Currently in practice at Henry Ford, I have a slew of patients who are exhibiting anxiety-based disorders. It can be something as simple as school-based anxiety, just struggling with tests and anxiety, social situations, that sort of thing, and just teaching them the skills and strategies to be better equipped to kind of handle the daily pressures, because the pressures of kids that are 15, 16, 17 today are a lot different from what they were even 5 years ago.
A focus of the event was exploring the reasons behind the growing numbers of people struggling with anxiety.
There's always been anxiety. I've been doing this for a while. I've always seen anxiety, but I think one huge thing that's really adding to it is the whole social media piece. That's at a whole new level to it. More and more kids are coming to school bringing in concerns related to that have happened outside of school on social media, and they're bringing it to school, and it's impacting their comfort level at school because of those issues.
We are always competing with other people, wanting to be better. We are very anxious about school, wanting to get better grades, get into better colleges, get a better job. We always want to one-up someone. And with social media, we're aware of it all the time. So I think that's a big part of why the kids are very, very anxious.
Determining whether or not someone's anxiety levels may be outside of a normal range isn't always quick or easy.
A lot of times we'll even have kids who come in thinking that they might have ADD or ADHD because their focus is so skewed. Sometimes they're able to focus and concentrate, other times they're not. And so typically one of the first things we see is, okay, I think my child has ADD or ADHD. And then when you dig a little further, you realize, oh, there might be stomach aches that accompany it, there might be headaches that accompany it. And then you kind of get to the bottom of it and recognize that it really is anxiety that tends to kind of affect the focus as well. If you feel like there might be something that's going on, something that's a little different from what you've been feeling, definitely reach out to parents, teachers, school counselors. The help is available, and it's trying to catch it before it turns into something that ends up being more significant or more severe.
As this topic continues to develop, the experts are agreeing that seeking help earlier is a great way to start to find balance in your life. If this topic is of interest to you, you can visit civiccentertv.com/anxiety to find out more. In this episode of Sidewalk Talk, Samana Sheik asked local residents their thoughts about a fun topic.
A Walk to Remember is a movie that I can't stop watching whenever it's on. What movies do you get riveted by?
I'd say 17 again. It's not exactly the worst movie, but it's like addicting. I just can't stop watching it.
Is it the one with Zac Efron?
Yes, Zac Efron, my love.
Probably Boys in the Hood.
What's that?
It's a movie. It's basically a movie to watch watch your surroundings and stuff, or something like that.
Who's in it?
Ice Cube.
Is Scarface a bad movie?
I like Scarface.
I watch that movie every time I see it as if it's the first time I saw it. I love it. I watched it. It's over and over and over and over again.
I like to watch Space Jam.
Space Jam is my favorite movie. I did this funny walk-in 3 years ago to the song. I love that movie so much.
Throw Mama from the Train. Yeah, if it's on, it's like a train wreck, so I do watch it. So, I don't know where that came from, but yeah.
I need to watch that movie. I've never even heard of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The Christmas Story.
And why is that?
It's not a bad movie. It's just brings in Christmas.
I'm trying to think. I can't think of a movie that I always watch every time it comes on. Transformers just came on. I've probably seen it 10 times and have the DVD, so I watched it anyway. But I don't have one specific movie.
I've never seen Transformers.
How can you not? They filmed part of it in the D.
I know.
You have to see it.
As always, we appreciate your input, West Bloomfield. Join us again for another episode of Sidewalk Talk.
If you'd like to see some of our other fun and interesting questions on the show, you can do so anytime and anywhere by visiting our website at civiccentertv.com/sidewalk talk. And now it's time for our Civic Center event update, where we provide you with all the latest that's happening around Greater West Bloomfield. And if you'd like to stay up to date on all of the following current events yourself, you can visit civiccentertv.com/events. Let's get started. Solicitors will be canvassing in West Bloomfield over the next few weeks. Renewal by Anderson is canvassing now through April 10th on Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 7 p.m. Additionally, Comcast will be canvassing Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. now through May 5th. Please be advised that these solicitors are approved to be canvassing in the area. For more information, please contact the West Bloomfield Clerk's Office at 248-451-4848. Treat your muscles to a morning of gentle, therapeutic yoga at Spirit of Grace Church. Delightful, gentle yoga is appropriate for adults in all levels of physical activity. Experience is not necessary. Delightful, gentle yoga is taking place every Wednesday from 11 a.m. until noon. Drop-in price is $7 per class, or a monthly rate of $25 is available as well. It is encouraged that you bring your own yoga mat and be prepared to meet new friends and walk away with a better sense of your own well-being. For more information, visit spiritofgrace.church. If you or someone you know is looking for help in filling out passport forms or getting a professional photo for a passport application, then stop by the West Bloomfield Clerk's Office on March 14th from 4:30 p.m. until 6:30 p.m. for their passport night. The office will be staying open late to be able to accommodate people in need of passport services. To ensure you won't have to wait, you can call ahead to schedule a time and verify the types of documents and how many checks you will need to bring with you. For more information, be sure to call the clerk's office at 248-451-4848. On Wednesday, March 14th from 6:30 p.m. until 8:30 p.m., the West Bloomfield Township Public Library is holding a free event called Microsoft PowerPoint 2016 Basics, where you can learn valuable information on how to use Microsoft PowerPoint 2016. Space is limited and reservations are required, so secure your spot soon. In this class, you will learn how to navigate the complexities of Microsoft PowerPoint so that it becomes more user-friendly for you and those you know. To secure your spot, you can call 248-232-2290. Coming up on Saturday, March 17th from 8 p.m. until 10 p.m. at the Berman Center for the Performing Arts, you can see the Michigan 5 perform. The Michigan 5 is a group of the most outstanding and creative dance talent from colleges and universities throughout our entire state. The best choreographers have created a dynamic showcase of these talented dancers. Tickets to the showcase start at just $27, and you can buy yours by visiting theberman.org. On March 17th from 11 a.m. until 11:30 a.m., the West Bloomfield Public Library is holding their Saturday morning live program for families with kids of all ages. Get your weekend started in an energetic way with a fun-filled half hour of music, dancing, stories, and interactive group activities. Your little ones are sure to love the energy and creativity of the event, and parents too will feel their inner child emerge through these lighthearted activities. No registration is required, but if you'd like more information, you can visit wblib.org. On Sunday, March 18th, there will be 2 performances from the musical group Gesundheit at the West Bloomfield Public Library as part of their Music at Maine series. The first performance starts at 3 p.m. and the second performance begins at 4:30 p.m. These performances are free, and you can arrive up to 30 minutes early to secure your seat. The style of music played will range from jazz to Balkan, Gypsy, Jewish, and more, as the band is well-versed in combining many elements into one cohesive sound. For more information on this performance, you can call Stephen Swarin at 248-682-2120. On April 14th, the third annual casino bus trip to Greektown Casino is taking place. Starting at 11:30 a.m., individuals will board the bus outside of Roosevelt Elementary School and start the drive down to Greektown Casino, boarding the bus again at 5:30 p.m. for the drive back. Afterwards, the afterglow will be held at Gino's that includes free pizza for anyone who reserved a spot for the bus trip. This event is free and is for individuals only 21 years of age or older. To reserve your spot, call Kego Harbor City Hall at 248-682-1930. That concludes this week's events. However, if you're looking to find even more events going on in your neighborhood, then be sure to follow us at civiccentertv.com/events and look up our events calendar. Or watch us here for more information on everything going on in the greater West Bloomfield area. As we head into the break, stay tuned because afterwards I'll be talking with Deborah Macon and Dziuba, Greater West Bloomfield Cable Communications Commissioners.
Don't go away. You're watching The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Civic Center TV is your home for everything Greater West Bloomfield. Here you can tune into community programming such as our weekly news magazine show, The Splash, as well as coverage of local events and meetings in Kego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, and West Bloomfield. You can also watch all of your local programming online anytime at civiccentertv.com. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
Civic Center TV has gone social. Now it's easier than ever to watch, save, like, and share our videos online. See what's happening in your neighborhood, on the streets, and on the web at civiccentertv.com. Be a part of the conversation and get involved. We would love to hear from you. For links to our social media pages, visit us at our website or find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home.
And now, back to The Splash on Civic Center TV.
Welcome back to The Splash. I'm Sheena Monnin. In the studio with me this week are Deborah Macon and Dziuba, Greater West Bloomfield Cable Communications Commissioners. Ladies, thank you for giving us your time today to talk about a very important topic that I am not sure the viewers will know too much about, so I'm very excited to jump right into this. And can we go ahead and get started with you? The topic today is access to public information. Can you tell us why is that important?
Certainly. Well, we're celebrating Sunshine Week, and that really embodies the idea that every citizen will have open access to government records, to information, because it impacts their life. We are a participatory democracy, which is a big mouthful, but what it really means is don't be a bystander. Seek out information, and it should be readily available to you because we have a Freedom of Information Act, we have the Open Meetings Act, so that means that everyone has access to government records and to meetings. We're hoping that with this we'll build knowledgeable, educated citizens, and that these citizens will have confidence and trust in their government, and that this government, whether it's local or regional or national, will really meet their needs and provide the services that will enrich their lives.
Wonderful. Now, Sunshine Week, what is that and how did that get started?
You know what, Sheena, in 2005, the American Society of News Editors created Sunshine Week, and it is always celebrated at this time of the year. And while that was 2005, a few years later, as part of the Cable Commission, we discovered it and thought, that's not their mission, that's our mission. So everything this Cable Commission has been doing over the years, since its inception, has been how can we make accessible information available covering not only our 4 communities, Greater West Bloomfield, Kego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and Orchard Lake, and how can we be a conduit so residents of Greater West Bloomfield can access their county, their state and even beyond. So it has been really quite a bit of very positive energy for the Cable Commission to publicize this work and do absolutely everything we can do in terms of programming, in terms of access, and in terms of information, so residents can take a full and active part in their local, county, state, and federal government.
I love that. It sounds very empowering and really, really exciting.
It
so
is.
What kinds of information, just thinking about what Deb has just said, what kinds of information should be available? What kind of benefits are there to the public?
Right. Well, in our own local communities, we have all of the meetings available on civiccentertv.com.
Okay.
People can attend those meetings so they can have firsthand primary access to that information. But again, if they're not able to be physically present, all of the meetings are available for them. They can always go to their community seats of government and get access to ordinances, to minutes of meetings, to information about any policies, issues that have come up, and talk to their representatives and talk to their local officials. So we also have a radio station that we want to gear up to provide even more information to our citizens. So add that as another link to giving them easy, user-friendly access to all of what's going on in our communities, whether it be meetings, events, documents, issues, etc.
Wonderful, great. So, Deb, thinking in terms of people watching and saying, hey, I didn't know this and I want to get involved, I want to make sure that I'm exploring all the information available to me, how can viewers get involved with this very important topic?
You know what, this is a wonderful question, and love having the opportunity to address it. The Cable Commission's work is all about helping residents to show up for their community, show up for their rights, show up for transparency in government. And I'd also like to add that the Commission is very proud to have a number of community partners in this role. And a key one would be the Commission's relationship with the League of Women Voters of Oakland area, so much so that when candidate forums are produced for everyone across this community, we actually have written in our policies that organizations such as the League of Women Voters will be at the forefront in doing this. So in addition to that, we're also encouraging residents to attend local meetings. And as part of the Open Meetings Act, each local meeting must have at least one spot, and in Greater West Bloomfield, many of our local units of government have two. So a citizen, a resident, anyone can make their voice heard. Now, the Cable Commission specifically is always looking for new ideas on programming. How are we doing with what we are doing? And one of the efforts the Commission has actually recently taken is to launch a community panel that will actually have a way for residents to continue to give us feedback. And I would conclude by saying each of us who subscribe to Comcast, and I believe AT&T as well, have a phone number on their bill that gives them direct access to reaching out to the Cable Commission to let us know what their interests and needs are. And we absolutely look forward to all of that and seeing that we model for our region and for our state exactly what it means to be an active and engaged resident.
Wonderful. This is really exciting information. I love it, and it's all open and accessible. That's perfect. Thank you, ladies, for stopping by today and sharing your expertise and your knowledge. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Once again, we've been speaking with Deborah Macon and Ann Dziuba, Greater West Bloomfield Cable Communications Commissioners. Now it's time for an episode of Parenting on the Go, where I sat down with Ann Lehman to shed light on some of the challenges of parenting a child with special needs. Hello, and welcome to Parenting on the Go. I'm Sheena Monnin, and joining me here today in the studio is Annie Lehman. Annie, thank you so much for stopping by. Today you're going to be talking about advocating for your special needs child. His name is Jonah. He's 34. He has severe autism, from what I understand, and he is the subject of your book, The Accidental Teacher, Life Lessons from My Silent Son. Now, thinking back to those early days, what was one of the biggest challenges as a parent that you faced?
One of the biggest challenges was not knowing what the diagnosis was, and it took us 3.5 years to learn that diagnosis. But back then, the diagnosis rate was 15 in 10,000. Today, that diagnosis rate is 1 in 68. So you can imagine that the program and the knowledge base about the disability was very, very minimal. And as a result, I had to kind of discover things on my own. In fact, there was so few books written about the subject that was one of the reasons that I ended up writing my book.
That's very admirable.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
Now,
Thank you.
thinking back, again, going over the years, if you could turn back the clock, what would be one thing you might want to change or improve upon?
Well, I would say that I wish I had trusted myself a little bit more. You go into a school system and you expect the professionals to have all the answers, and they don't always have the answers. You as a parent are spending day in and day out with your child, and you're getting to know them well, and you can bring information to the table that will benefit those professionals who work with your child. And these professionals really do work hard. If anyone understood how hard these professionals worked, it was me, because I was doing it for all the hours that they weren't with him. So I made a practice of always thanking them, and I really did appreciate the hard work that they did in caring for and trying to help Jonah along the way.
Absolutely. Now, thinking about parents who may be in your situation, they're just starting out on this journey, what might you tell to them?
I would say network early. Some of my closest friends were people who were in the same situation as me in dealing with a child with autism, and no one understands your situation better than someone else who is dealing with similar challenges. And I think that some of those people can eventually become people you partner with in developing programs and in maybe establishing long-term living situations for your adult child with autism.
Wonderful. And finally, what would be one takeaway message today?
That there's no failure here. No matter what you try in trying to help your child, every parent is really doing the best they can. And in fact, when I speak to groups, sometimes parents will come over to me and ask me about diets that they have their children on or different programs that they have their children on. And I always say that whatever they are doing, it takes a lot of work, and you have to be respectful of that, and you have to realize that everyone is trying the best they can, and it's not a failure if something doesn't work. It didn't work, and that's okay. You did the best you could, and that's how you have to view it.
Wow, that's wonderful words of wisdom right there. And thank you again for stopping by and sharing this personal and very important topic to all of us.
All right, thank you.
And thank you for joining us for this episode of Parenting on the Go. If you would like to look up more helpful parenting tips, you can visit the West Bloomfield Youth Assistance website at wbyouthassistance.org. You can watch other episodes of Parenting on the Go anytime at civiccentertv.com/parenting2go. We now move on to our final segment on The Splash called Person of the Week, where we recognize those within the community who are either inspiring or providing toward others. This week's recipient is William Gracier Jr., West Bloomfield firefighter. Firefighter William Gracier Jr. has been serving and protecting the people of Greater West Bloomfield for nearly 25 years. In that time, William has served in a number of positions, helping protect our residents, businesses, and guests in a multitude of ways. But it's not only through his training and service as a firefighter that he is making a positive difference. In his free time, Firefighter Gracier has gone above and beyond his call of duty, preserving and passing on the true stories of heroism, as well as community involvement that have made the West Bloomfield Fire Department Department, one of our area's most beloved organizations. Much of the work that he does to preserve the stories of our fire department are done in his free time, showing that his work serving the West Bloomfield Fire Department and Greater West Bloomfield is far more than just his job. It is a labor of love. Because of William Gracier Jr.'s attention to detail and the energy he puts into keeping the legacy of so many alive, we can enjoy and honor those who have helped to make our community what it is today. And that is why he is our Person of the Week. If you know someone who is providing a service to their community, then let us know by sending an email to thesplash@civiccentertv.com. We want to congratulate those who are making a difference in our area, and we appreciate all of your suggestions. That's going to do it for us this week, but remember, you can watch new episodes of The Splash every Monday at 5:30 p.m. or throughout the week for replays. You can also watch every episode online at civiccentertv.com. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook under Civic Center TV 15, YouTube at Civic Center TV 15, and on Twitter at Civic Center TV for more information. For all of our friends in Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, Kego Harbor, and West Bloomfield, I'm Sheena Monnin. Thank you for watching The Splash.